All right. Thank you. That was the notification to let you all know that we are now live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Sisters on God podcast show. I am the cat's meow.
And I'm the authentic sister.
There she goes. There she goes. And
Get
welcome to.
my mom.
This is to show you guys that this is real life stuff going on here. We're not trying to be all bougie and stuff. This is real deal lifing going on in the midst of us trying to get our podcast off the ground. So this is episode number 8, and this episode is based off of the old Dear John, Dear Abby little articles in the newspaper where people would write into them and ask them questions about life, relationships, and some anonymous person, because you never knew who Dear Abby was or Dear John. And so that's what this episode is going to be. It's going to be called Dear. Lord help me. It's Dear Cat's Meow and an authentic. No, it's Dear Sister. Oh my gosh. Y'all got to forgive me. I got so much going on today, too. That's what we are. We're called Dear Sister. Sista. And so, with all that being said, let's get to the question. So, this person emailed us a few days ago, which was what inspired this episode, because thought it'd be kind of fun. So they said, Dear Cat's Meow and Authentic Sister, I have been in a 2-year long distant relationship with my ex fiance. I still love her, but everyone keeps telling me to let her go. This will be the second time that she's broke up with me and blocked me from all social media and her phone. I believe that she's going to come back. The last time she broke up with me, I took my part of the blame in the relationship and I sought out God to help me understand and to change. This time, besides being petty and doing what she did to me the day before, and then they go in to explain that apparently she had gotten mad. They had gotten to an argument. She had gotten mad and she just blatantly just hung up the phone. No goodbye, no nothing. She just hung the phone up. Now, back in our time, that was more effective with the old school phones where you could really like make that sound. You could feel like you actually had done something. This isn't as effective when you hang up on somebody. Just don't feel the same. Right. You're like, anyway, so where do we go? So he says, this time, besides being petty and doing what she did to me, which was she hung up on him the day before. So the next day they were talking. I guess everything was going good. And he got mad at her. And so he felt like, oh, let me do to you what you did to me. So he hung up on her. She broke up with him. So he said, I don't believe that it was grounds for a breakup. So, Cat's Meow and Authentic Sister, what do you think I should do? Interesting. Oh, I left out that people told him that he should let her go. That there's more fish out in the sea. Um, Maybe God is showing him that she's not the right person. And so all the advice that he's getting from his friends, his boys, of course, his boys, it's no different than if, I was struggling with a boyfriend or a fiance and I'm telling you about the stuff he's doing. Of course, you're going to be on my side and, you ain't going to like that person very much because, they're hurting your loved one. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So So now I guess they want an answer and a perspective from females. In comes us.
Hmm.
She said, Now, see, what you guys don't know is that I did not prep her for this because you see how she's looking at me?
Okay, so how long a relationship was that?
The relationship is 2 years, and they are engaged, or they were engaged. They've never seen each other in person. Like, he gave me a lot of detail. They live in two different countries. Um,
Ah,
they've never
that
seen each other in person, which I believe is part of the
you want an answer for me?
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is if they write into us and they want our
Yeah,
opinion on
I know.
something,
Okay, so I keep things real,
that's all we do. Keep
and
it.
hmm,
Hmm. See, my take is while you're thinking about yours, I'm going to say what's going through my mind because you know how we are. Um,
hmm,
I feel like if you haven't seen that person and you never got to physically touch that human being, that it kind of gives you the ability to break ties where once two people have come together and of course you put sex into it, now you're talking on a whole different level of connection with that human being, because we
hmm,
know that whenever you connect with another person that their spirit comes on to you, you're taking on their spirit as well, because that's what it was supposed to be. Sexual relations was supposed to be a
hmm,
spiritual connection, right? He didn't have that with her. And so I think, you know, okay, they're aged. He also mentioned that they're 30, they're in their mid 30s.
hmm.
She's a striving businesswoman trying to get her business off the ground. And so I understand that you're young, you're trying to become a mogul in the industry and become independent and work for yourself. And that comes along with a lot of stress. I can attest to that. Yeah, so,
I'm coming, baby.
you can too.
I'm coming.
If you would like to excuse yourself, you can. For a second. Okay, I didn't know. I just want to make sure you're okay. Go ahead.
How you do that?
How I do what?
You mute it like how the we never did this before.
How do you
How do you
mute?
pause? Yeah.
So down at the bottom of your screen, you should have a microphone to the left. If you click on
Hmm,
that microphone, do you see it?
hmm,
Yeah, click on
hmm.
that, and that'll mute you. Okay. Yep, you're good. Um, so I think that this woman has some growing up to do, some God searching, that I think that she needs to find herself, and maybe this relationship, because he went through it too, and like he said, he took his part in the first time they broke up, that she broke up with him, and he diligently did what he needed to do to change and be the man that he needed to be for her, as well as more importantly, a true man of God, which is what he was striving for. And it's like they're not, what's it say, unequally yoked kind of deal. So
Okay. The For me, that's not how I see it
see, that's
because
why.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't. For me, I don't know the relationship the person actually have with God. Everybody have their own intimate thing with God.
Absolutely.
So I
Everybody is
cannot put
growing at a
God.
different level.
I can't put God in the middle of this
Mhm.
in the relation in this situation
Mhm.
because think of like when you're with someone where it's not through a device and you could touch and you could see their eyes and you could feel. If it's a situation where that was going on and ties are being broken, then that comes into play for me, because now there is a connection. It's a connection. It's skin. It's touches. It kisses. So it's different for me. Maybe this person, the female, also desires this, but because she is in love, really, she really cares for the person. You're trying to ignore. You're trying to put your feeling, that part of you that wants that, aside
Mm-hmm.
to give in to the person that you care about.
Right.
But life is not doing that, because you're still very far apart. And
Mm-hmm.
if 2 years, that's a lifetime
Isn't
for
it?
two people. One, they're not in the war where we focus on the war. You're building a business, and it's not like it was a connection before, and then the 2 years happen where we separate, because
Right.
that's a whole different thing. Then I
Right.
could understand the trying to do all this extra stuff,
Right. Yes.
right? This is
Love
this
is
is a
love.
never connecting thing, but it doesn't excuse the fact that love still is a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a part, because love, you can love someone. Look, we fell for each other through here, but the
Absolutely.
full connection was when we really meet. Where in Jamaica they have a saying: "To see me and to know me is two different things."
That's true.
Because if they do meet, how do you know it gets evenly yoked? You don't know, because we can always have a facade through this. I could be anybody I
That's
want to be
right.
through.
That's
You don't
right.
know.
The internet and the
Once this
camera
next time's off,
does not
I'm becoming. They
solidify the relationship.
right.
Hmm.
So to say either party something is wrong with them would be unfair of me. These
Hmm.
are two people that still feel for each other, but distance is creating
I
a
think
problem.
that's what it is. I believe that's what, and both of us know because we both have long distance. Your husband's on the
Right.
road, you know.
Well, you see, with me, my husband being on the road, we are already connected for 30 something years. Shit, he
Right,
could be out there for years. I would
right.
still miss him, but 30 something years of loving each other, it kind of, that's harder to kind of break.
Right.
You'll miss. And that phone thing, we could creatively do stuff. And once in a while, even with the 30 something years, I can get annoyed the fact that I want to feel him and he's not here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it
Yeah.
won't be as fast paced as somebody who is doing it at a shorter, who have
Mhm.
never really touched nor feel nor had nothing to do. That form of that connection has not happened.
Right.
And you might be surprised they end up seeing each other. It can work amazingly, as well as
And see,
don't.
that's what he said his friends was saying to him is
Yeah.
that, y'all might end up meeting up with each other and
And
finding out,
then and now hate each other, because that
exactly,
can
find
happen.
out that their quirks is just something that you're not willing to.
See me and live with me. Two different.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And
So
when you're
now you're
saying that
actually
you love a
fighting.
person, you got to be willing to accept all of them. It's an
Accept.
unconditional thing. And if that's something that you got to be able to give your chance the opportunity to see, is that something that
Yeah.
are you the person that I'm willing to give that unconditional love to when I see you in person compared to how you are on a camera?
No, to be honest with you, that also is a sticky thing, because in my mind, I could feel like I want to do that. I could say that too. But when you meet, spiritual, how energy go. That shit
That's
could leave
right.
the room just
I'm
that.
gonna say it's all
We
in the
out.
pudding.
But in your mind, you knew, yes, I was going, and then sometimes that's where we hurt ourselves.
That's right,
You're gonna
because you
force
built up a
yourself to
fantasy
do this,
relationship in your head because
and
they're
this
not
way you're
there
gonna
with
hurt
you.
yourself.
So you
Yep.
built a facade of them based off of
And it
whatever
could
they
be
give you
either
in your
person.
phone or video.
Because you could go and your game to what you thought you wanted to do. You cannot beat up on the other person if they don't want to do that. Because at the end of the day, they also have a choice.
Right.
They
Yes.
also have a choice.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're doing it based on, okay, we've been married such and such a year, or we have about
Right.
two, three
There's a
kids.
big difference.
There's nothing there. We built
There's
a
no
house together.
line between you and
There's
God.
no, yeah. So to say, everybody could find God all they want, but when the two people get in that room, now it's what's going to happen with human nature and who they are as a person. Maybe I
Right.
meet you and the way you snore then becomes a bother. So then now you know this.
She don't like snoring. I keep forgetting I'm in reverse. She don't like snoring.
And or you just can't stand hearing the person breathe. After 30 something years,
Oh
I'm
my
telling you,
gosh.
even after years of relationship, that does happen.
It does. I've
Yeah.
heard it.
Damn, why you breathing so loud? Like,
You have to breathe that loud? Oh my
don't eat
god.
that loud.
Mine is, do you have to chew that
Yeah,
loud?
Let me not start. And this is
You
from
want to get on
and
my
this is
nerves?
from love, but the difference here is because these people who have been doing this and bonding, they have other thing that's the anchor. So even though that's an
Right.
annoyance, we have anchor. You're gonna throw away a
Right.
relationship because somebody eats too loud. You know, you're just gonna bitch about it, but you ain't gonna throw it out.
Like, I love them, but I can't stand them.
So for me, I think as young people, because they getting up there in age, and
They
time
are.
is of the essence. We don't stay. Every
Hmm.
year is a year older. These are red
And for
flags,
women, that's a real
and there you
thing to
go.
a woman.
Her time,
Because she don't have any kids. She's ready to have
I
kids.
couldn't find her
She
unfair
she's
because how are we doing this if we're not doing this? And as
Yeah.
a woman, if she's my daughter, I'm not gonna tell her to sit there and wait. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna do that. And if he's my son,
Yeah.
it's the same damn thing.
Same
Baby,
thing.
look, there is more fishes there. Jesus, fish for days.
And,
Give me
and
one of them
that's
near fish.
what the friends keep telling
You
me.
want that fish
There's
from way
more
over
fish.
there? Hell, you ain't gonna never eat.
You probably ain't even gonna like it once you get it.
That's my point. Because when we
Right.
when we doing this, there is a satisfaction that builds up because it's not real. I did my chit chatter. I
Right.
said it ain't real. It's superficial.
Hmm.
When real
It's
happens,
superficial.
that's a whole different ball. Oops, sorry, baby.
Absolutely.
A whole different ball game. So instead of
Hmm.
sacrificing pain and time any longer, let's remain friends. And if life and if God wants this to happen, it will. There's nothing for you to
Yes.
fight. If that's what's to
And
be,
that's
it
the answer
will.
right there.
Is to
Yeah.
be, must.
Whatever is meant
It
to be
will.
is
There
going to
you go.
be. Um, I tend to go for myself. This is just for
Mhm.
myself. Whenever I see certain roadblocks that come before me, I have to stop and pause and think,
Why?
is this roadblock here because you're trying to divert me to another direction because you're saying this isn't the way? You know, you got to take that into consideration too, especially if you're seeking God's wisdom and knowledge and direction out. You got to take into consideration, why do you keep having these roadblocks just keep happening with this
Or is it something
situation?
that you're not
Um,
learning from them? Because sometimes we
if it's
don't
something
learn.
you're not,
We're so stubborn
there's
sometimes.
two,
Yeah,
yeah,
we can be.
there
Sometimes what we want. It's just that simple.
heart wants what the heart wants.
So and I know I've this I've ignored God on a lot of things, and I know it's not what He wanted me to have. But in my mind,
That's
I
part
want
of the
that.
learning.
You know,
Yeah. That's part of the
yeah.
growth learning
And
though,
I would
is yeah,
sorry,
you're gonna choose your
yeah,
free will
we will.
thought or feel
And I
like
would fight.
until you find out that,
Yeah,
oh, this ain't,
and girl, sometimes you let that mess burn. Yeah, that's the part.
it hurts so bad.
Yeah. So for young people, to me, it's stagnant water. That's what that is.
It sure is, isn't it?
Free yourself and flow. You'll find what you need to find. To me, it's almost like an insecurity thing too. I'm safe with this, so that's why I'm still wanting it. No, take off the safety net. Just do the battle. You'd be surprised the outcome.
Yep.
You feel safe. So you're fighting for
I
something that
I say let it go, and if it's meant for you to
I've
have, it'll come
said
back
that
to you.
before. If it will, trust me, it will.
If it's
Hmm.
meant for you to have, it will come back to
Hmm.
you.
And maybe,
You gotta let time have its
yes.
way.
And sometimes when you kind of, I mean, friend, you don't have to disrupt the. See, the forcing of something will mess up the friendship. See what? See? But if we discuss this and say, well, look, I care about you and I love you as a friend. What I mean. I care and I love you. We already see something is happening here that's not happening. Pretty much that's what it's.
Right. Right.
Let's
Yep.
just free our mind. Just free yourself and let's see what life does. Let's continue because it makes no sense to hold up each other's lives for, unless y'all are really making plans to do this, then that's a different situation.
Mhm.
But if
Mhm.
after 2 years
Yep.
ain't no plan made yet, then 2 years is a long time. That's a long ass time.
2 years is a long time. Yes, it is.
No, free yourself.
That was quite a bit of time invested into another human
There you
being that you
go.
don't even know.
So in the first part, I can't beat her because as a woman, we have that touchy feely feel. We need love, not this. We need that.
That's why I said from the beginning that I think that part of the problem was that they have not met up in person. See, that's the downfall to this social media stuff. We were lucky because we met our people in person. We got
Yep.
to feel your
Mhm.
spirit, get your vibe, as
Until we
they
know do what and
say.
we don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
It's a whole
It's like a
different world
safety
out
net.
here now.
This is a safety net because if I'm feeling some type of way, there's no challenge to know if you really like me being this way or don't like me being this way. So how we really know what's gonna
Exactly.
happen? And then if you keep doing this for
Right.
2 years, when the real deal happens, 9 out of 10 it may not work because you are a completely person that what you can be on screen. Since
Yep.
we met, after talking and talking, you already know. I got crazy in me, so do you. So we learned each other. You know why? Because we met. So whatever wall was there broke. I
When we met, it
fight
solidified us. We knew that that was going to be the make
or
it
the
or
break,
break it part of our relationship. Was how was we going to flow once we met
and we
face to
did that
face? That was tell
effortless.
all tales.
Like for
And
real.
what happened?
Because I know there's a lot of stories on this, especially TikTok, of people who met up and that mess did not go good.
Horrid stories,
Some
horrible.
horror
It's not even
stories
a
are there,
word.
So
Yes. Yes, whether it was
of,
female and
of
female friends
however way,
or female and guy
mm,
relationships, it has been more. From what
yeah,
I've
more bad
seen, it's
thing. Yeah.
more of a
Hmm.
negative
Hmm. We are one of the good
than a
stories,
yes.
like
We're one of
really,
the
really
few.
good stories.
Yep,
We the
yep.
Cinderella.
And my other
Mhm.
sissy, I met her in person, and we flow just like we
Mhm.
do
The
from
period
off
from
of
the
the
yeah.
internet. But it's far and few in
Yeah.
between that you actually meet somebody online and then you meet them in
And
person
same.
and it's the same or better
Mhm.
because that's what you want. want it to be when you meet them in person, that it's
That
even
was
better than it
good.
was
Yup,
with that online
yup,
social media relationship that was
yup. And
built.
it,
So,
mhm. So I would say, look, stay friends because life is a funny thing. It is a
build
revolving
that
thing.
friendship because you're the one to tell about building a
Yeah,
friendship to a
you
marriage.
know, for real though. My husband was
Oh,
my
yeah,
best friend for years. You think I thought he was gonna be my
this
husband? You know,
should be called
he
Dear
was my friend.
Not.
And look at us.
Right,
So you never know. And we explored in between. See, we all have kids
right.
and been married how many times in between, but we remained
Hmm.
friends,
Yeah,
and we still are.
yeah,
Can't stand him
yep.
sometimes,
And that's what makes it work.
but we still are. You know.
Right. If you weren't friends, the marriage would start to compromise as time went on and problems
Yeah.
began to
But
arise.
that's friendship,
And
and you know,
you start to see that people aren't what you thought they were. The reality of the human being in front of you is not that human
yeah,
being that you made up in your.
yes. And at the same time, I realize younger people, they're afraid, you know. But if you're trusting God, what is just trust Him. Let go and trust
Right.
God. Just let's see where
Let
we go.
go.
You know, there's
Yep.
always good,
And let
better, best. How you know your best? You don't know if this is your best. So how
That's
about
right.
exploring and see if your best is actually somewhere else? You don't know. You're not giving yourself the chance to.
You're not- And you're not
The
tied
fact
down. So
you have
yes, you can
nothing.
explore those.
There's no nothing. Explore. Your best probably ain't that. You know?
Yep.
Same for her. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to discredit either or. These are young people.
No, and I
You know?
don't either. I think that they both need to
And,
go
and,
and
and
find whatever it is,
just like we would tell young
you know.
people, because that's the thing that, you know, it's like, okay, the first person, oh, I'm so in love. But no, how you really know? You have nothing to even compare. How you know all this? You know? Shit. I had to do it three
The other
times.
ain't just saying them
Yeah,
words.
so that's my answer, sister answer.
Well, I think we came to the same
Yeah,
conclusion.
just you know,
Uh, we hope that this helps.
yeah.
From a woman's perspective, not only a woman's perspective, but we have a woman's perspective from a marriage of over 30 something years in the relationship,
No, our friendship
right?
for over 30 something years. I'm married for 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
Woo! That leaps and bounds
so
all in
that's
itself. And if you can't, so the one thing that you never really want to do is get relationship advice from somebody who's had failed relationships. I have had failed relationships. I have had two failed marriages. I can tell you where my areas of what I did wrong. One of them was that I married somebody I had no business ever marrying. That's
what.
one.
Repeat what you said.
Oh, I don't know if I can.
Take relation. One thing you don't want to do is take relationship from someone who has failed. Is that what you said?
Relationship advice. So this is what the saying is: you want to take relationship advice from a person who has mastered a
Okay.
relationship. Although I do believe that you can take advice from a person who's had failed relationships because they should know
Yeah, the
after
part.
so long
Thank you.
they should know how to have a
Yeah.
successful
Because
relationship
I
with
would
a
not
person.
say that in reference to you. Because one thing we know during failures is the part that you learn the most. Honey, I don't fail too.
Not everybody learns the
It's
lesson
true.
though.
It's true. But if the person pay attention to you and how your demeanor and how you, yes, you did. Yes, you did. It may not
Yeah.
be, it may be a little bit more on the bias side somewhat because you're not actively in it, which I understand that. But it's not that we don't know the know. The know is always in this.
Right. Right. I know what it takes to make another human being
Yeah,
happy. I now know what it takes to be a
yeah.
wife. I now
And
understand
because of
the
what he failed.
sacrifice
Yeah.
because I was a runner. First of all, I've been a runner my whole life. As soon as you did me wrong,
Yeah.
what? Didn't think nothing
Mm-hmm.
about it. Now I
Mm-hmm.
understand that if I'm going to love the next human being that should come across my path, that they will get the unconditional love that I didn't know how to give before. I needed some healing done in my life as well. And I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
ready, even though I was,
Mm-hmm.
but I had too much that had
Yeah.
happened to
Right.
me.
See?
That's what made it so easy to run as soon as times got hard because I felt like, the society tells you, oh, girl, you ain't got to take that from no man. You can be your own independent woman, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that has got into my head as
And
well.
there's nothing even wrong with that too. It depends on who you're with.
It's a double
It
edged
is.
sword.
It is. Because I never throw that out either. But here you're gonna know. When you start really, oh gosh, talking to God.
Did
No,
it
no,
glow?
no, no. The whole thing is really a continuous conversation with God. It's continuous. Every time I
It
reach a
is.
threshold, I go in harder on him. Not only him, I start
Mm-hmm.
searching me. Okay,
That's right.
something is going on here. What is it?
I just go straight
Yeah,
to God because you know what? I'll mess things up.
no. I go to him, but I already know now I have to search because he's going to give me the answer, but I need to hear. I need to hear it from me. I already know that's how he speaks through me. Or something, he
That's right.
uses something to let you know the burning bush, the horse, the donkey, or something. It's coming from somewhere. We need audio. Yeah.
You didn't say his people would know his
And
voice for nothing. He must be speaking.
so when I said search me because I need to hear him, so then I start listening. And then I also listen
That's
to
right.
myself. When I speak, I
Yes.
also hear him because he's even using me. If there's nothing else, he's gonna let you talk you too.
That's
And
right.
sometimes you gotta just,
Good.
and it's patience and I wake up in the morning,
Woo, the patience
girl,
lesson. That
and let's
woo.
not take obedience off the table because it's that majorly
Please let's not
obedience.
take obedience off the table
It's obedience.
because it is necessary in a
Everything,
relationship. You have to take
child.
your position.
But the number one, when you have realized that this is who is for you, though, you're just not doing it for every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Because you're going to know when you're doing it for the wrong person, too, if you listen to yourself. You do know.
Yeah.
Them
Yep.
the ones we normally want to fight for.
I
Mm,
know.
mm. But it's patience. It's and when you've done what you have to do, if the other person is not meeting you, then there's your answer, baby. You ain't got to ask no more.
Mm-hmm.
Your answer is there. You
Mm-mm.
if you're going to God and doing
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff and the
And
first thing they
that
share.
was my first
Yeah.
yes, that was my first thought when I read it
Yeah.
was, you already know what the
Yeah.
answer is. But I get it. You wanna explore all your
Hmm.
options. You wanna see you sometimes we need to get beat upside the head, knocked upside the head a couple of times or two or 20 until we finally realize, okay, yeah, that is what you were saying from the jump
But
street.
I want to tell you too, sometime, when we're in a position where we're not feeling uplifted. That's why some choices we make, right? We're down.
Yes.
So guess what kind of choices we're
Yes.
making? Down ones. And we're hanging on to them for life because we can't really see
Mm-hmm.
the sun. We need to reach for the sun, but
Mm-hmm.
we only got dark clouds right now. We're hanging on to them. Because no one wants
Yep.
to feel alone. And that is
Mhm.
scary to feel alone. And worse,
Loneliness is
lonely
scary.
when you're down, that definitely is a no no. And it's the reason why
It
sometimes
is.
we do what we do. It ain't because we weak or we stupid. No, we're mentally down right now. So if this is all I know at this present moment, it's all I'm gonna hold on to. What I got right now.
Right.
But guess what though? that's soul searching, take a chance. Gamble that
Mm-hmm.
bitch. It
Mm-hmm.
might just be in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
Oh,
we just
whoa.
gotta let
Spread them wings.
vulnerability.
Spread them.
Just lay down, and do what you got to do. Cause you lay
Yep.
and if you're laying on God, you gotta go.
You gonna fly.
So that's in a nutshell. It's yeah. You
So
already
there
have
you
your
have
answer
it. I
inside
hope
you. It's
that,
in you. It's just that you're afraid to
yeah.
answer it. But I'm telling you, pick that
Yeah.
bitch up. It's
Mm-hmm.
ringing. Pick it
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be so
Mm-hmm.
surprised. And you don't have to break bad blood. No. It's always good to have a friend. And if y'all have friendship, ain't nothing wrong with that. We all need a friend.
Still win. You're still
We all
winning.
need a friend.
If it turns out to just be a good
Yes,
friend, someone that you can always go to and
yeah.
talk
And
to
somebody that
and
was good
turn
to
to,
you, ain't not a damn thing wrong with that. As they say, um,
it's,
a good friend is better
you
than
said
pocket money.
something.
That's what they say in Jamaica. Good friend,
Say it again.
good friend is better than pocket money. A good friend.
That's very
Yeah.
true. That is very true. Hmm.
There you
Yep.
go.
You had said something. Oh, I just forgot it. Oh
That's it.
no. God. Oh well, it is 9:40. I didn't think that this
No,
conversation was going to go
but that
on
was
this
a
long. I don't know why I estimated that.
good one. So
But I like this. I hope that other people, come on, send us some more emails about some stuff. This was really fun, and that's what this
yeah.
is.
And just know it's an
We're
opinion
here
of
to
mine and
keep
it's an
you
opinion of hers. But it's also based on one thing. When channeled, he speaks. And if this is the mic he's found and that way from her, he's saying something. Listen.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Well, thank you for contacting us and letting us be the ones you chose for our first episode number 8. Dear Sista, thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. If you are a small business and you would like to have a little advertising done,
So
we can do that for you for a minimal fee. Just contact us through our email, Sisters on God. I believe it's up now, sistersongod.net. Otherwise, it's going to be that long email that
we both forgot.
thought I had. You know what? I had it here. It just disappeared on me. Sisters on God. Um, if you have a question, if you would like a soft sell, try us this way. There you go. I'll cover it that way. I'll just point both directions. So, you all, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching our episode number 8. We hope that you'll return. We hope that you may have gotten something out of this worth maybe for your relationship questions. So, take care and stay tuned for episode 9 next week, hopefully. God willing, we'll see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. You all take care. See you on the flip side.